Soundstripe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Kelby Cross here at the Hammer Down Time podcast. It is Hammer Down Time here in Great Falls for the Memorial Special with the ASCS Frontier Region, as well as regular track championship stuff at Electric City Speedway. The Memorial Special night number 1 saw Dustin Collins win his first race in the Street Stock Division. His first career race, actually, after racing for 9 years. Caden Craver was second, Robert Petroff was third, Travis Shoemate was fourth, and Luke Zampich drove from 13th up to 5th last night. So, good stuff from the street stocks last night. And then we saw in the super stock, it was a super stock race at Electric City Speedway, so Casey Stephenson won it from 6th. Actually, I say that, of course, and it was his first win of the season. So he won it over Pacer Popham, went from 10th to 2nd. John Tribble was at 3rd. PJ Popham was at 3rd, and Clay was at 4th, rather. PJ Popham was 4th. Clay Irwin was at 5th. In the A-Mod division, Joey Price made a move late in the race, within the last 3 laps of the race, to take it late from Ty Clemens. It was the first win for Joey Price in 2025 in Victory Lane. He said they were having a couple of mechanical issues and fighting stuff like that early on this season. So kind of uncharacteristic for that team, but it was pretty cool to see Joey and John Price duke it out for second while Ty Clemens was leading early on in that race. Clemens ended up second. John Price was third. Colby Hanna went from 10th up to 4th, and he was battling for the top spot at times last night as well. So Colby Hanna showing some promise in the A-Mod division. Corey Craver had his elbows up, drove up from 15th up to 5th last night at Electric City Speedway. In the ASCS Frontier Region show, we saw the third feature of the season for the ASCS Frontier Region, and it was the Nubby Peterson car that Garen Linder put back into Victory Lane at Electric City Speedway. That car is based out of Great Falls and won so many races over in Belgrade and, of course, up here in Great Falls. And so great to see, pretty cool to see that car back in Victory Lane. Garen Linder able to do it. Jake Helsel in one of, I'd imagine Jake doesn't have very many starts at the Electric City Speedway. I believe last night may have been his first one. I will have to confirm that. But he was second, started on the front row, and was second. Trevor Kirkland was third, his second straight podium. Rich Bailey, after getting on the bike in turns 1 and 2 at one point last night, kind of a rough and fast racetrack for the Frontier Region last night at Electric City Speedway. Almost turned that car over, but Rich Bailey, in his first race of the season, was able to take it home 4th. Joe Perry drove from 13th up to 5th. They got a half an inch of rain on Thursday, and that's part of the reason why the track was so juiced up and a little bit rough last night. So, but it was still good stuff from all the divisions. Had great car counts in all the divisions as well. So, and hats off to Electric City Speedway for getting everything done by 10 o'clock. So everybody was out, and the only people who were there at the end were people like me who still had things to do after the race. But whatever. Kelly Miller was involved in an incident with Ian Myers on lap number 1. Trying to get the feature started. Had a couple of different incidences last night trying to get the feature started, but the points leader, the guy who was undefeated going into last night, they've struggled at Electric City Speedway, where they've had really fast and good cars, but they just have had something go wrong. Last year they blew a motor here with the Frontier Region, and then last night Kelly Miller just really overcooked it going into the first corner. Nowhere for Ian Myers to go, and Myers hit Miller in the left rear, and they broke the Watts link in that rear end of the Miller car. Myers was actually, who got upside down in that incident. He was able to return to the field and continue. He actually ended up finishing under power. So, but unfortunately a DNF for Kelly Miller, and that's going to have probably major points implicator. Well, I shouldn't say probably. It's going to have major points implications, especially we're only 3 races in now. So Kelly Miller going to have to reload and refire going into the night. And a guy like Trevor Kirkland, who came into the weekend in 3rd in the points, or check that, in 5th in the points, he's definitely licking his chops as he's trying to get back into this Frontier Region Championship points battle. Saw High Limit, haven't talked about them yet on the podcast. They got rained out at Port Royal last night, the Bob Weichert Memorial. Port Royal is one of my favorite big tracks. I'm becoming more of a short track supremacist the more racing in general that I watch, but especially sprint car racing. But Port Royal is certainly one of my favorites in terms of half miles, and the Bob Weichert is certainly one of the most unique. It's got that awesome trophy that we've mentioned before, or that I've talked about before on other podcasts. Rico Abreu is really getting hot right now, doing big man stuff. One in Posse Country, a win at Grandview, his 4th high limit win of the season. And, of course, the Golden State Gang just does what it does in Posse Country and wins. So, Rico Abreu set to at a place that he won at last year, Port Royal. So, in high limit is as their season, they kind of go in waves. It's kind of a weird deal. They take seems like they take forever off, and then they finally get back into a bunch of racing. And something that was crazy to me last night was Williams Grove. And it just goes to show the difference. And I've been aware of this. I've been a sprint car racing fan for a long time, but Pennsylvania is just on another level in terms of attracting cars, 30 plus cars at 2 different racetracks in the same state that at Williams Grove and Port Royal. Just goes to show how many teams are out there, and just how rich the sprint car racing is in that area, and how much I need to get back there. But with that, we will look forward to Electric City Speedway tonight for night number 2 of the Memorial Special with the ASCS Frontier Region, race number 4 on the season for them, as well as the other things that went on with Electric City Speedway, that are going on with Electric City Speedway, and we'll keep an eye on the high limit stuff, as well as assorted other California things. I know Silver Dollar Speedway had a race this week, but we'll talk about that on the regular podcast, the full podcast. This is just the weekend update, but less jokes. So, and clearly no game in effect. So, with that, we will sign off here. We'll see you at the races. I'm Kelby Cross, saying goodbye and God bless. Hammer down.